Sad when people just for no reason fall and then die or slump and die. It's not what we always want to hear, but we have to talk about it, because if we do not talk about it, we cannot find a solution. We cannot find something that can be done to limit the number of these things happening, or stop it from happening. And then today, we are going to be discussing about a 500 level mechanical engineering student who just slumped on the day of his exam, his last exam, his final exam. Can you imagine that? Just slumped and then died. And so we're going to take a look at that story. And at some point in time as well, too, we'll definitely be having a guest on the program this morning, a doctor who's going to be coming in to talk to us on this, and then give us some tips, things that we need to know. We're going to ask him some questions basically, so that we can also stay informed, and you out there as well to listening will be informed, that to know things to do, things to avoid, and how to take care of your body. It is very important that you know how to go about taking care of your body, because you don't know who is alive anymore. Maronia Arude, according to the song by Ike Mazeli, shout out to him as well too. So we're on Yarode at this point in time. So you just have to be careful. It's not everybody you see. I know see situations where some people just see somebody, say person don't make you vex, you want to slap the person, you want to punch him. You might hit the person and the person goes down immediately. So that's the reason why we always tell you that violence cannot really solve our matters. It's always important that you know this. Any issue you find yourself, just walk away, because anything can happen. It might be the person going down, it might even be you going down. You might stress your heart to the point whereby your heart just gives up immediately like that. So to avoid all of these things, we'll be talking to the doctor. He will definitely get to explain more.
Imagine the stress this young boy has passed through 100, 200, 300, down to 500 level, and here just his last paper, we just hear the news that he slumped and died. And this actually is happening around us. You just see someone, just like he said, you will see someone standing, and you will just see that person, and that's it, and the person has gone. We don't really know what actually causes all of these things, and that is why we get to talk about it this morning, and get to learn, so that we get to know what we need to do in order to avoid this from happening. So I must say, let me just read through the story, and I will give another instance for us to have better understanding of what we are discussing about this morning. So a 500 level mechanical engineering student of the Afe Babalola University, Ado Ekiti, Ekiti State, on last Thursday slumped and died on campus, throwing his family into mourning. It was gathered that Odunton died on the day he sat for his last examination in the school. A short video clip of the student celebrating after writing his examination was cited shortly before he was reportedly slumped and died. A final year student who would have celebrated his 21st birthday in October was said to have been rushed to the school hospital for medical care after he slumped. The deceased was Saliu. The uncle to the deceased was Wale Saliu, said that family members were still in shock over the news and the sudden death of their son, who he claimed was not known to be sick. So that is the story. They don't actually tell us what causes the death of this young man, but I will tell us another story concerning this slumping and dying of this. I read the news this morning of this legendary actor Don Brimo Uchembo. He was reportedly dead last week too. So he was best known for his royal father traditional roles in movies. He died on Thursday too last week after he slumped while shooting film in Ahoda, Port Harcourt, the River State capital. He was 56. Brimo's death happened barely a month after the movie industry lost yet another vibrant actor, Obim Nwafor, popularly known as Obisent, to the cold hand of death. So popular actor and singer Harry B. Anyanwu confirmed the sad news, which we read this morning. So according to him, Brimo slumped while he was on a movie set and was immediately rushed to the hospital, where he gave up the ghost. This is another instance talking about this slumping of people and dying. And I must say that if we know this movie actor too, Murphy Afolabi, that one happened at Lagos. I know him very well. He's a Yoruba movie actor. He was also reportedly slumped and died, and we begin to wonder. He slumped and died actually, and I begin to wonder what is all the cause of all these things. We get to talk about it, we get to learn more, so that if there are things we are doing that is actually causing these things that we might not know, so we get to understand more from it, from the doctor that is coming this morning. And I must say that there are some things we actually engage in, just like this student now. I can confirm to it that some students during exam, they carry this exam on their head, like say truly your life depends on it, because if you fail you will actually come back to rewrite the exam. But still yet, it should not be something that you will now go ahead and be using some things that will not allow you to sleep for straight 24 to 2 days. Some people will not sleep from that first day of exam till the very last day of their exam. The body, body don't be firewood, just like we used to say it. Sometimes it might be the causes of this thing we are talking about. Imagine you did not sleep for like 1 week. What will happen? Your body will actually need something. Maybe the blood, you might be losing blood or anything at that moment. You might not know. So these are some of the things we are going to discuss when doctor comes around, and we get to know if it is part of what causes this thing. You just hear the news that somebody slumped and died, and that's it. And the funny thing be saying, that person will not be sick. You will see that person walking around and doing some other things. You will just hear the news and that's it. So these are some of the things we are going to learn this morning.
Health is wealth. Vital is vital. Is important. Is essential that you get to take care of yourself at all times, and of course make sure that you stay healthy. You eat healthy and exercise more often. And thank God for our country that we live in right about now, that fuel has increased. There is a need for people to exercise a whole lot. By the time you walk from here down to Mpo, there is nothing you can complain about anymore. Your health would always be on point at all times. I don't know why someone's laughing right here. There's no more to carry you anywhere again. Favor would walk from wherever she is coming from to work every single day and then go back as well too. That's why she no great at flesh. Anyway, welcome to the show again. We have someone in the building as well too, Mr. Ebu Nadozie Paul. Welcome to the show this morning. You're the one we've been actually waiting for, and of course he's going to be answering some questions for us, so we won't be putting him on the hot spot, but not really that hot, just for him to get to explain to us basically what has been going on and how people can actually prevent some of these things from happening, and then how people can actually continue to stay healthy and stay safe, and not having us experience what we saw with the 500 engineering students who just slumped and died. So yes, welcome to the show. Good morning to you, and of course it's always a pleasure to have you here.
Good morning everyone. My name's scientist Ebu Nadozie Paul. I'm a medical laboratory scientist and I'm a hematologist. I majored in hematology.
Okay.
Hematology is a study of blood, and if I may say, blood is the river of life. Blood gives life, and that's it.
If you know the flow for your body, I don't know what you're doing. You'll be zombie.
Sure.
Definitely. So when we're talking about what has happened, we know the fact that this young boy who just finished his final paper, his final exam, and then he was celebrating, and all of a sudden they said he just slumped and then died. And so we brought in someone who has seen something like that happen over time, and would be in a better position to really explain to us all of these things. So yes, before we get down to you actually explaining to us what you feel could actually lead to such a thing happening to such a young person who is still quite young. He's not someone who is in his late 60s or 70s. This is still a young man in his early 20s who is just trying to get to experience what life has in full stock for him, and then he slumped and died. So the young man who just slumped and died, and that is not just the only situation we've seen. We've seen different cases of this happening, especially in recent times. It seems as if it's now something that keeps on reoccurring every single time. You just see someone healthy, completely healthy, or not really, we don't know. But someone who's just walking on the road, and then all of a sudden you see them just go down, and that is it. So people try a lot of things to try to see how you can get to resuscitate them, but then it doesn't work. You find out that the person is dead. So what do you think could actually cause something like that to happen?
You know, people slumping and dying can be attributed to a whole lot of things, but I will try to be snappy. One, what can cause sudden case like that? One, there are many, but I will list few. Number one, the chief one, number one there is cardiomyopathy, what we call heart disease. And then number two is stroke. Number three is hyperlipidemia. What I mean by hyperlipidemia is high blood fat.
Okay.
Yes, and also BP. And so kidney also can be partially attributed to it. Nephropathy can be actually attributed to it, and also neuropathy also can be attributed to it also. When I made mention of cardiomyopathy, many things can attribute to that cardiomyopathy. For example, let me just bring out a case of hyperlipidemia. When someone, you know that in hyperlipidemia, there are tests that need to be conducted. Understand? When you can now verify that someone is hyperlipidemia. Number one, we have cholesterol, which is the most rampant one that people do, know of, and there is the one we called triglyceride, and there is one we called HDL. We tend to refer that one as good cholesterol, and there is one we called LDL, and also we tend to refer that one as bad cholesterol. So, but when you see people coming inside the lab saying we want to do cholesterol, and you trying to tell them that cholesterol alone doesn't show the total analysis of your fats,
Okay.
of your lipids, understand? So they will say, we want to do this one. Understand? So, and sometimes the person might just feel like we want to do it. Understand? He or she wants to do the lipid profile, but looking at the monetary aspect of it, he or she will just shy away from it. Understand? In my little dialect, I would say, "Ibe marezu." Understand? So, okay, the person might do the cholesterol will be normal. What I mean normal, because the range for cholesterol is from 0 to 200 milligram per dl. Understand? So the person might do the cholesterol and the cholesterol will be normal. Understand? So now you see this person now, the triglyceride level, no clue about it. He didn't know about it. The HDL, which is the good cholesterol, he didn't know about it. The LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, he didn't know about it. Understand? So now these investigations, the HDL, LDL, and triglyceride, they can cause cardiomyopathy. Understand? So this person not knowing the actual amount or the actual value for these parameters in his or her body can in turn affect. And when there is much accumulation of all these fatty droplets, it can cause what is called atherosclerosis, which is the blockage of the arterial walls. And blocking the arterial walls, it can lead to many things. Understand? When the blood passage is being blocked, understand, which can cause stroke. And also which can cause stroke or cause neuropathy also. So, and when there is much damage of the blood passage walls, it can lead to cardiomyopathy. That person is slumping and dying. And also, such also can lead to what is called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, which is let me say, the failure of the heart muscle, understand, to work properly.
Okay.
So, which is many people do suffer such, and then you can see people slumping and dying, understand. Or BP patient, you can see a BP patient. Mostly BP is the most common health challenge that people have, understand. Someone might be in the office, emotion, whether it's just, you might see people saying, why is my BP going up now? There's nothing that I'm thinking about. No, it's not when you are thinking about something that your BP. When you feel so happy that you feel so happy, it's an emotional problem, understand? And also, sugar also can also cause it.
So someone cannot, you cannot be, so you being too happy can actually be a problem.
Yes, it's an emotional change.
Oh, wow.
It's an emotional change, understand? It can change your emotions, understand? Then high your blood pressure. So it's not, people only think that when I think too much, that's when my BP rises, understand? So all these things can lead to people slumping and dying, sugar, BP, cholesterol, understand, and heart failure, understand.
Are there things that could actually be passed down?
Some of them are genetical, like hypertrophic cardiomyopathy is a genetic disorder, though it is not being diagnosed in children, but in adulthood it can be diagnosed. And also there are some lineage that once they attain to their 30, 40 years of age, understand, they can still, they will be seeing symptoms of high lipidemia, or high lipid value, and high blood sugar level, and also high blood pressure. Some of them are hereditary.
Okay. Someone who knows that he has probably all of these things now going on in his system, what are those things that they need to, avoid?
You know that some of them, they need to avoid, like if in a case of hyperlipidemia, you need to avoid fatty, most especially saturated fatty substances, or all these in the morning the person will eat early morning ofaku with goat meat or beef, understand? You know that early morning ofaku is another disease.
Seriously?
Wow. Because early morning ofaku, and most of these women, they're in competition of spices, understand? They feel like when I put all these seasoners, it will spicy my food and attract customers. Yes, understand? So early morning ofaku, people should be conscious of it. And also all these madam, as you are putting the early morning ofaku, try put fried plantain on it, then add fried fish on it. All these things are saturated fats. Akara, oh, you know now.
Fried yam, fried potatoes.
Chin chin. So all these things can be attributed to it. So people need to abstain from it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Most people, when you explain to them, or you try to explain to them basically what cholesterol is and all of that, they don't even understand, what it means. And they tell you, when we buy oils, they tell you that this one has cholesterol, this one does not have. But even those ones that we feel don't have, I feel that, still have a little bit on it. I don't know though, but I'm not a professional in that field. But I feel we just need to be careful, just like you said now, in the amount of fried things we eat.
Yes.
But like you mentioned, if you go for the cholesterol check, it's not going to show all of these things.
That is what
It's
I'm
not going to
saying.
show
That's
all
what
of
I'm
these things.
saying. Like when you're going for cholesterol, understand? It's not just cholesterol. You go for lipid profile.
Lipid profile.
Yes, lipid profile. Because going for cholesterol is just a single investigation of its own, which is the most common which is the most rampant investigation that people knows about.
Okay.
But when you go for lipid profile, most especially we call that fasting lipid profile, because the fasting level is much more unlike your fasting blood sugar level. Understand? We have fasting lipid profile, FLP. Understand? So there you can check your triglyceride level, you can check your cholesterol level, which is the total cholesterol level, and also you can also check your HDL, high density lipoprotein, and also LDL, low density lipoprotein. So that's that. You see people coming doing only cholesterol, you tell them they will present a case that need complete analysis, complete investigations, complete diagnosis, and you'll be explaining. They will say, no, I want to do cholesterol, do me cholesterol, let me confirm. Understand? And the person will do cholesterol level, the cholesterol level will be normal. You say, okay. Then you're trying to tell him, why not go for triglyceride, lipid profile, other investigations? He said, doc, later I go come back.
It's not people's fault to some extent. We know the country we find ourselves today, and everybody thinks about money. So all of these will require money, and that's why sometimes. But I must say that health is very important. So let's not think about money first. Your health is very important. But I love the part that you say that some people will tell you that this is the only one they want to do. But I'm just speaking on their part now, that it's because of money. All these things, are they not very cost for me to do if there is any patient to come and do that?
Let me answer that your question. In my local dialect, they said, "Onwere ihe eji tụọ elu ndụ, onwere ihe eji zọ ndụ eji atụ elu ndụ." Understand? Like, there is nothing that you use in saving life you will use to equate that life.
Exactly.
Understand? So, no matter anything, no matter the amount, try to know the status of your health. Because this body now is like our car. If you own a car and you drove that car all the way from your office to your house, then you went up, the next morning you come down to start that engine, the car no gree start. That's how the body is. What will you do at that moment? You will be disorganized, or you are in an express road, a lonely place, and your car stopped. What will you do? You will be stranded. So you see that your health first, no matter any amount. Government tries sometimes to make things more cheaper, and NGOs also try sometimes to, bring people close. Understand? Like sometimes they will just go for community health check or community health awareness scheme. Understand? And you see some government subsidizing prices. Understand? People should go there, check their, people around this vicinity, they are too money conscious. What I mean too money conscious, you see them early in the morning jumping out. When you will see them again, 4 to 5, 6, 7, coming back. No time to check their health. Understand? Then when things now accumulate, when all those coming here, all those diseases, understand, calling their father, their forefathers, and all, then go just accumulate, come, good. Now, to diagnose, doctor go like to investigate, understand, know waiting can cause this one, waiting cause this one, waiting cause this one, things go just add up. That's when you see the bills, understand, going high. But continuous checking, can help subsidizing. And also, as you are checking, try to have a record. What I mean by record, like you see people now, they will just go check their BP, come back. They ask them, shall you go to that chemist, go check your BP? You go say yes. Waiting your hair, you tell me say the BP dey normal. Normal no be range. The range na 120/80. Now him be the range. As the chemist man tell you 120/80. Carry your exercise book,
Write it down.
20 leaves, write them down, write date. As today na 16th June. Then you check the time where the BP was carried out. You write them, then write the value there. It's a health record. You keep it. In case of tomorrow, when they ask you, on 16th of June, what was your BP level? You can just, hey Ada, go to that my keyboard, bring down my health record then. Hey, you bring and come, know what your BP level is, understand? Then not when the diseases or the challenges has accumulated. When you go to the hospital will like to investigate now. That's it.
Cardiac arrest basically is not really attached to any disease or so. It can just happen. So if you find yourself in such a situation that someone just slumps immediately, and we feel that you should give us steps to take immediately at that moment to try and see how you can save that person.
In case of, the word cardiac arrest is when, unlike when a policeman arrests you, a police arrest, you just stop. Understand? So when the cardiac arrest, your heart just stop. And there's nothing you can do, there's no first aid for it. The only first aid is just to take that person to the hospital.
So you can't really try to massage the heart back to pumping blood.
Some people say give aspirin. No, don't give. Just carry that person and go to the hospital. People slumping and dying can be attributed to what I say, cardiovascular diseases. Stroke, understand? Because stroke, when you have stroke now, the arteries, the passage in which blood flow, those passages don't break now, so blood no go flow that place again now. You go start saying you get stroke. So all those things can cause cardiac arrest. So there's nothing you can do, you just take that person to the hospital. So it's very important for people to always check their health. In case of the advice I will have to give is, before you start any exercise is good though. Exercise is very much good. It helps a lot. But before you start your exercise, try to go to any diagnostic center around you. Know the status of your health. Understand? Before you commence on any exercise. You see people just jumping into exercise without knowing the health status. That person might have BP, and exercise highs the blood pressure. So you see in the case of them jogging and slumping. And also, so before, exercise is good. All kinds of exercise are good because it will help reduce fats, burn all these fatty tissue, adipose tissue, burn them out. But before you go, make sure you check yourself up. Because no exercise no be for everybody.
Like us.
I love that part.
No, for everybody. No, I see. Very lazy.
It's not about being lazy.
It's not about being lazy or anything.
One thing I would say is, some people, you just see that people are doing exercise and you just want to feel among and you join them, and I'm hearing this for the first time right about now, that before you even go into any exercise, you need to check your body and know the status of your body. That's a good one coming right from you, I must say.